You can please some of the people all of the time,
You can please all of the people some of the time.
but you can't please all of the people all of the time.
Welcome to the People Pleasers Podcast.
I missed you.
I missed you too.
How are you?
Fine. It's been a while.
I know. It's been
It's literally been like 3 or 4 weeks.
yeah.
Dang.
What you been doing?
Living.
Oh, great. Me too.
L-I-V-I-N.
Well, I love that for you.
Yeah, I feel like you've had a more entertaining
Have I?
past few weeks. I feel like.
Yeah.
Compared to my schedule, yeah. I mean, you had a fun
Look at that.
vacation.
Things
What?
have taken a turn. I have something more entertaining and exciting.
I'm not the entertaining, exciting one.
I'm like, wait, I have to share something going on in my life?
Yeah, you
What?
do. Walk us. Well, first of all, we've been gone for a few weeks. We've
Yeah.
been, I mean, you know, it is what it is.
Life?
It's life.
That's life.
Thank you. I was waiting. I was hoping. I was trying to bait that. But we're back. And we figured this time we'd just kind of catch everybody up on life before we have some exciting guests for the next 2 months. So first we'll start with us. First you just
Yeah.
get us. Because you've had some
Little
pretty good
us.
guests lately.
Yeah.
That you get us
And
again.
we're just
Sorry.
going to chit chat.
Yeah.
Shoot the shit.
Shoot the
if you
shit.
will.
And we will.
And we will. So yeah, what all has happened in the past few weeks?
Yeah.
I went on vacation.
Woohoo!
That was great.
Yes.
We went to the Dominican Republic with Zach's family. It was our first Downing family trip.
Fun.
Yeah. I thought we weren't recording for a second. I was like, oh God, no, we're good.
We're a little rusty.
Yeah.
So many times today I was like,
I know. Is the light on? Is the light on?
are we good?
Is
yeah?
anybody watching? Is anybody there? Hello?
Back into
is
the
this thing
routine.
on?
Not even recording. It's fine.
Yeah, so that was really, really nice. It was nice to just get away. Although I will say, I wish anxiety could just like go away when you're traveling. But
Yeah.
it gets worse.
Indeed.
And there was like the day of our first flight was the day that the Delta plane flipped over. Then like,
Wait, that was that day?
Yeah.
Holy crap, it's been forever.
I know. No, I know.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's just been
Yeah,
like,
that doesn't help.
yeah. Yeah. But I was like, you know what? If we go down, I've got my mother-in-law, I've got my father-in-law, and I've got my husband right across this aisle.
I'll be
so
okay.
at least we're all together.
It's a good way to look at it.
I know.
That is-
I was trying
Yeah,
not to be in my head.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, we had like a little bit of turbulence at one point in time. I was like, oh my God, this is it. This
Yep,
is it. Here we go. And then I was like, okay, wait, no, that was literally like less than a minute. Like, we're fine.
Still.
Yeah.
It feels a
We're
lot
good.
longer.
Yes, yes. But yeah, the trip was great. We were there for a week, not a full week. Got there Monday, left Friday.
Weekdays, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So we had 3 full days there. It was so nice.
I have to be so jealous. All of your photos, palm trees.
It was just so
beach.
beautiful.
I was just like, and it was
Perfect weather.
frigid back here.
That's the other thing. We left and it was like the perfect time to
So
leave.
awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very jealous.
Because our flight was at like 5 a.m. or something and we're boarding and it's snowing. So they have to like de-ice the plane, all of that. So it was just
don't
a
have to
shock to the
work.
system starting
Oh,
there. Like you
yeah.
mentioned when you went to NOLA.
Yeah.
And then ending the day or getting there like in the afternoon
Yeah.
in the DR. I'm like in like sweatpants. I'm like, oh my God.
Like,
I did not
I feel
plan accordingly.
disgusting.
Yes.
Well, it's always so hard to travel like that in the winter because, like,
I know.
and then you
What do you
don't want
wear?
to come home without a heavy coat because then
I
you're like,
know.
I'm going to be freezing. But then
I
you show
know.
up and you're like, sorry.
It's okay.
like,
It's okay.
gross.
Love that sound.
Ew.
Love that.
Nasty.
Put the mic closer. Didn't pick up on
Want to
that.
do it again?
No, but
that's
for
so
real. So that was a shock to the system, adjusting a little bit of sickness after coming back, which I feel like every time that happens. But
Yeah.
overall, the trip itself was really, really nice and relaxing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I made a friend in the DR. Her name is Flower.
Well, oh.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I don't think it's her
I
real
like
name.
her. Oh, well,
She goes by Flower though.
That's her alias.
Yeah, it's her alias. I met another one named Lady.
Oh, okay.
They were so sweet.
They sound sweet. Were they like
know.
older? Were they our age?
So Flower was probably around our age, and she was like part of like the activities like crew. So
yeah.
she would like go
Always
around and
good
talk to people.
energy.
Yeah, trying to get people to do like beach volleyball, things like that. Which Zach did play one day.
Wow.
Yes,
Zach.
I
Could
thought about
never
it,
be
but I
me.
was like, looks a little too intense for what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm more of a relaxing vacation girl.
Yeah, yeah.
But he did that one day, so that's how he first met Flower, and Flower was like shit talking him the whole time. So
Okay.
and then she just became
Flower.
our friend. I know, but it was so
Aw.
fun. Like I've never been to the DR before. The
Yeah.
like Dominican spirit is
Yeah.
just, it was so like lively, and
Yeah.
it was just really nice to experience something different.
Nice. It was all inclusive.
Yeah.
How many
All
restaurants?
inclusive. Oh gosh, there were.
I enjoyed your photos of like the tables every day.
I loved them.
I was always like, all right,
I thought that
Sarah.
they were so
No, I did
cute.
too. I thought they were so.
I
That's
know.
why I was kind of like, Sarah, is posting like cute shit.
Yeah,
a table.
I'm a freaking photographer.
Yeah.
I know.
That's why
I see
was
the moment and I'm like, I need to capture this. I think there were like 4, not including like the buffet and all of that, and then like the beach bar and or maybe there were 5 total. But yeah, and it was funny. So we only had one family dinner with all of us at dinner. So the first night I didn't make it to dinner. I like crap. I was bad.
You were mentioning this.
Not well.
Yeah.
This is a travel day too.
Yeah.
So we went straight from the travel day into drinking, hadn't eaten anything. And I was like, my head is pounding. My body is shutting down. I cannot sit through this dinner.
Nope.
So I was like, I'm so sorry, guys. And I was like, the people pleaser in me really wants to stay.
Proud of you.
But I can't do this.
But I literally can't. So sorry.
So yeah, so I had room service that night. Wasn't great, not gonna lie. Room service dinner wasn't good. So I was a little bit scared. Yeah, a little bit scared, but then the rest of the food, the rest of the trip was great. Yeah. So I missed dinner the first night. Zach's dad ended up leaving during dessert on that first night because he was like crashing as well. He's like, I can't be here any longer. Oh. And then Haley, Zach's sister, her husband had, he's a firefighter. So he had like this mandatory fitness test or something that got scheduled for that week. So he wasn't able to come until halfway through. So he was only there for a couple days. But we had like the second night, all 4 of us went to dinner. It was a French restaurant. That was really good. That was probably my favorite. It was a French restaurant. So that was great. And then the next night, Zach's dad was out again. He was like sick from there. They did an excursion that day. So and he was not well again. And he was not well for a while, poor guy. It was like the next day even carried over. So it was just
excursions are tough too. They can take it out of you.
Vacations are so great, so relaxing. But at the same time, when like people are constantly like out feeling sick, and then with my phobia, it's just and you're in unfamiliar territory. No. So definitely like moments of like pure relaxation, so needed. And then moments where I was just like just like hyper aware of my surroundings. But
because it's not like your safe space,
right,
or your safe place,
right. But it is nice that you're like at the resort, so it's like, oh, my room's right there. Like I can go get away if I need to. But it's just like you wish you could just like let's just turn that part off and let's just like fully relax and enjoy this and not be stressed.
Right. I'm on vacation. This stuff doesn't exist.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I want to fully unplug and enjoy it and not worry about anything.
Yeah, but yeah, we went to a Japanese steakhouse that night.
Nice.
That was good.
Nice.
So yeah. And then the last night, everybody was at dinner, but Haley wasn't feeling great that night, but she made it through. She pushed through since it was the last night. But yeah, I think everybody had like a moment besides Debbie.
Wow.
So shout out to Debbie.
Way to go,
she
Debbie.
She was just well adjusted and ready to go.
Look at that nice immune system there.
But yeah, lots of pina coladas. I love a pina colada.
I love pina coladas.
Like that, it's so much sugar, but so good. But then you have that crash and you're like, oh my God.
My body.
Have another one of these.
I need a vegetable.
No, yes.
I need someone take the sugar out of me.
Literally, I was like, start every day with the green juice. I need something before this.
That is,
but it was really, really nice.
Yeah. Good.
So
I'm glad.
That was great.
I love that for you.
Yeah. What's going on with you? I'm like, after that, what happened from there?
I was back home.
Yeah.
Being cold as shit and dealing with
you had some
also
stuff going
dumb
on here.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a scope on Monday of when you were gone for vacation, which was not ideal. It was what it was.
Yeah.
It was the first time though Holt and I, other than when he took me to the ER this last June, it was like our first time like going through a situation like that together.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, as much as I obviously don't want to be going through any of that, it is kind of fun to be like, oh, like who'd you bring with you? Oh, it's my boyfriend. He's like emergency contact, all of that stuff. So I'm kind of like, oh, you're here with me. Like this is fun. I will
have
say,
a support system.
Yeah, it is. The really funny part. So I was only asleep for 12 minutes.
Wow,
that's how long it
that
took.
Fast.
But they told me, anesthesia told me, they're like, we're gonna knock you out pretty hard and pretty deep. And I'm like, okay.
What does that mean?
Well, sure. I mean, I trust you.
Am I gonna wake up?
Yeah, yeah, no kidding. They're like, you're just gonna have a nice little nap. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
I was out and I struggled getting up. It was like, I don't remember half of it. Holt was kind of like walking me through. He's like, you don't remember them coming in? I'm like, no. He's like, you don't remember this?
Did you say anything silly?
I didn't say, he was wanting me to say something silly. I didn't say anything silly, but he has 2 photos, which I'm sure he'll show you. It's a picture of me before I go in and I'm like this. And then it's a picture of me eating Jell-O afterwards. And it is the most heinous thing I've ever seen in my life.
Not the Jell-O.
And you could just see in my eyes, like, lights are on, but someone left 5 weeks ago.
Right.
Like, no one is here.
Oh my God.
And it was really funny. So that was just kind of funny, but...
Did I ever tell you what I said coming out of anesthesia for getting my wisdom teeth taken out? It's the only time I've ever been under anesthesia.
Really?
And this was like a couple years ago. So I was a late bloomer.
Was this just a couple years ago?
Yeah.
That's okay. No shame. No shame. But I'm like, why do I not remember this?
I got my wisdom teeth out a couple years ago.
Oh, I do remember this now.
And so they're not used to having people like my age, I don't think either.
Yeah.
So they're used to having like teenagers or whatever. So I kept touching my chin and I was like, my chin feels like a ball sack. And I kept saying it. I said it to the nurse and she was like, oh, and I like remember all of it though. But I remember she was like, it feels like a ball sack. And I kept saying it and like my mouth got like flowing. So I'm like, a ball sack on my chin. It's so sad. Zach has video of that.
Good.
So
I'm glad.
we can compare.
Okay. I don't have any videos. I have videos of my wisdom teeth, but you will not be seeing them. I was a sophomore in college. You'll not be seeing them. Bad. So, we'll just live with your memory. Not bad, just like embarrassing for myself.
With my ball sack chin.
We'll stick with your ball sack. No, but I after I came out, like it just took me a while.
Yeah.
And then we went and saw my grandparents and I was like, okay, but
yeah.
it was really just quick. Mm-hmm. But
recovery from that, like the days after,
sucked.
Yeah.
It was bad. Like just health stuff sucks. Still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Just still in the same boat we've been in.
No
answers. And this has been going on for over a year now. And
something's definitely wrong.
Mm-hmm. And then the second problem has now been going on since last July. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of one of those things that it's hard to get out of your head a little bit with. Like I was laying there talking to Holt last night and I'm like, my anxiety just every night. Like I'm just thinking about it and I'm running through what I'm going to say to my doctors and how I'm going to propose. I think this is happening. I don't know. What about this? But I'm like, you guys are the professionals, but like, I know what's going on in my body. It's just like so hard because I just kind of feel like I'm at a point where no one's listening to me. Mm-hmm. And they're just kind of like, here, try this. I'm like, is this actually getting to the root of my issue?
Right. Or am I just wasting time?
Yes.
And again, just not feeling good every day.
Exactly. And it's just like, it's getting worse. Like I'm feeling progressively worse and worse and worse. And this has been going on for so long. So I think it's just really getting to the point where I'm fed up and I'm frustrated. And I'm ready for any kind of anything like that. It's great when you have all these tests, you have these procedures done and they say everything's healthy. Awesome. I love to hear that. However,
but that's scary.
That does not help any issue that I'm still having. I'm still in a lot of pain. I'm still uncomfortable. So it's just been a lot mentally to work through, if we're being honest. So the last few weeks, I think for me have just been
not good.
Figuring it out. Yeah. Especially now, like I really wanted to wrap this up and kind of have an answer before weddings, and I start weddings next weekend. Mm-hmm. So I think that's also just been kind of in the back of my mind. And like we talked about with Meredith of like, I mean, we try and plan our health and our issues around our business and our work. And it sucks when it doesn't work that way. And it sucks when we're the ones in charge and we can't take leave. We can't just peace out. Like we're about to get started on a busy year.
I know. It's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming to think, okay, I have this thing that I know how it goes and I know this year is going to be great, but it's going to be insane. And then I still have yet to figure out what's going on in my body.
While progressively feeling worse.
Exactly.
So that's a scary thing too. It's like, how am I going to even be feeling on these wedding days? And then you have that added anxiety when you already have the anxiety about the day itself.
Exactly. And feeling just like out of shape within like the workspace. Like I've done now like 2 like creative styled shoots in the last few weeks, and I like
which by the way, stunning. Thanks. Side note,
I can't take any credit. They all did the work. I just showed up and took photos, but they were all very fun.
You get to take credit for that.
I'll take some credit.
Yes,
but that's even like those where I was only there for like 4 or 5 hours, and I told Holt, I was like, holy shit, I'm out of shape. Like I'm out of wedding shape. And so thinking about mentally and physically remembering how that's going to take a toll on your body is like, okay, here we go.
I know.
And I have this at the same time. It's just so frustrating.
It's hard to get out of that negative mindset.
Yeah. And it's hard to still like try and validate how I'm feeling and like really listen to my body when I'm also trying to not listen to it because I don't want to think about it. Right. And we're not really getting anywhere. So it's a weird spot to be in.
So what is, like, do you have another appointment scheduled?
Yeah, I have 2 next week.
Yeah, okay.
I had to wait a few weeks for this next one. My post-op appointment was very disappointing. Yeah. And I think that's one that really kicked me in the ass a little bit of like, really? Like, are you serious?
I'm fine.
This is the next thing we're going to do?
Yeah.
Well, and it's just like the next thing they proposed. I'm like,
yeah.
It just like, it's like, all right, you know, you're the doctor, but that just kind of feels a little disrespectful.
Well, it's like, also the financial side of things too. It's like, it's not like it's just like, oh, try this, do this, we'll try this. It's like, okay, what does that all cost?
I'm thousands of dollars in debt now over procedures. Cool that nothing is wrong.
Right.
However, we have not found the root cause, and I've spent so much money.
Yeah.
Which is horrible to like think about saying, but it's
true. And that's like the reality.
Yeah. It's a weird spot to be in. And it's one that's made me kind of sit there and be like, I mean, I know I need to be taking better care of myself, and there's lifestyle changes I could make. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that's going to help my problem.
It's something bigger than that.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And that's where it's just like getting there and sitting and like, is anyone listening to me who is going to listen to me? And then trying to go through the like, okay, I need to find a new gyno. I need to find a new primary care.
It's terrible. I finally just got a new primary care appointment scheduled, and it's in, I don't even know when. Maybe May, which I was like, oh, that's not too bad. Mm-hmm. Like, I thought I was not going to get it until October.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the other thing of like, I don't want to have to wait and prolong this even more. And also then my body, I'm like, am I going to get worse?
I know.
And we're just pushing it off.
And then you just spiral.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I wish there was something. Yeah, I wish there was something that I could say or do to help you, but other than just continue being your biggest advocate, like we always say.
Yeah.
As hard as that is, and even if you're not getting the response that you like, speak up for yourself. If they're proposing something and you're like, no,
yeah,
I know that it's something different. I can tell, like, it's my body, like you said.
Right.
You know how you're feeling. You can only put it into words as well as you can, but
just not letting their reaction or their whatever they're going to say back to me, just not letting that get in my head of like, I think I'm just getting ahead of myself of like, I'm going to say this and I'm going to say this and try and propose this, but I don't want to make them feel like I'm trying to like,
oh, don't worry about how you're making them feel.
I know.
That right there is one thing I'm going to tell you right now. I know. Let that thought go.
I know. I need to.
100%. That's
I need
just the people pleaser in you, which we are working on getting rid of.
On it.
So I'm going to remind you right now that is something. No, let that go. You already have enough thoughts going on in your head about it all. Yeah. So give yourself that relief.
Thanks, I will.
We'll see if you do.
I'll get back to you on
I know, I'm like, the look in your eyes is telling me otherwise. You're like, nope, I'm still going to be concerned.
Still going to think about it all the time. Yeah, but
so anyway. We'll see. Yeah, that sucks, first of all. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And that.
Thanks for letting me talk about it.
Oh, my, of course. But I mean, I completely understand how it's like with all that going on. It's like, how do you focus on the day to day and be present and not let it consume you and not be depressed?
Right. And yeah, exactly. That's where I was saying, I think either to my sister, I was like, this is really now starting to take the toll on me mentally because we're still where we're at. We've taken now like 5 more steps backwards because it was like, all right, the high scan scope, that like all the things where it's like, okay, we'll find answers, and we still don't have any. And I did all of this, and now we're even further. So it is kind of hard mentally.
The worst part is I feel like there's so many women that are in the same boat because they just don't know women's bodies.
They don't know anything about our bodies. Yep. And so much. I was listening to the Mel Robbins podcast, and it was the episode about autoimmune disease and why it's on the rise in women. And it's something about, I'm going to get the statistic wrong, but like 80% of women are 80% more likely to have an autoimmune disease than men. Yeah. And it's like, that's a big number. Yeah. Why? Yeah. And like listening to it it was very like helpful to listen to, and it was nice and kind of reassuring, but also at the same time, I'm like, this also just kind of makes me sad and disappoints me because I'm like, why are there not more people out there like the doctor that she's talking to that want to help and want to be progressive in this medicine that are just, I don't know. It was like a hard thing to balance because it made me feel good, but it also kind of made me feel bad that we don't know more about our bodies and we're not given all the information.
Do you want to go into a new field? I feel like
I thought about it.
I feel like you've got the fire.
I would love to. No, I would love to.
We're not going to add that to your plate right now.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, keep me posted.
I will.
I'm here for you in whichever way I can be. Thanks. Always a listening ear, but obviously there's nothing you can do. There's nothing I can do. Yeah. It's all in the hands of other people that you have to just trust.
Yep. With that being said, if you have a great primary care that you love or a great gynecologist that you love in or around the Kansas City area, let me know.
Yeah. Help our girl out.
Yeah. Just, if you have great recommendations of great people, let me know.
Yeah.
Shoot them my way.
Aww.
Yeah.
Well, that was one big thing on our trip that Zach and I talked about, obviously, with my own circumstances and my health and all of that. And he was just like, I really want to help you. Like, let's come up with a wellness plan for you.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So he's been so great in helping me, and just like we're looking into therapists, we're like doing but ones that are covered by insurance, which is hard because it's like, well, will I get along with them? It's the things
shopping
we always talk about
for doctors is tough.
Right.
Not
right.
easy.
But he was just like, we're there on vacation, and he was just like, I haven't seen you this like relaxed in so long. Like I want to like help you with all that. And sometimes like that's what you need. It's just like somebody to be like, oh
yeah,
you see that I need help.
you see that this is a problem.
Plan? I agree with you.
And I love that. I love that he brought that up and wants to. He saw of like, how can I make this feeling more of a normal feeling for her? Because I mean, obviously he sees how happy you are, and then therefore I'm sure he also is happy seeing you that way. So he's like, let's
why
do
can't
this
together.
Be a
like, why can't you be like this all the time?
Right.
I'm like, good question. That would be nice. That's a possibility.
Never thought about that.
People feel good all the time and relax. Like what? That's not realistic.
No.
But yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
I'm glad you did that.
Me too. It's good to have that support system, and I'm glad that Holt's been there for you too, and like gone to the appointment with you, has the time to be able to do that.
I know it is nice that it kind of happened in the off season time that he can be with me, because I couldn't imagine doing a lot of this stuff by myself. So it is nice to have him. So it's been good. Yeah. Good. We did have a very funny, not funny, very funny and serious circumstance 2 days after my scope.
Yeah, tell me about yours, and then I'll tell you about a recent one that just happened at my house.
Oh God, okay.
Yeah,
you've heard this one. Yeah, I told you.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. So the coldest day of the year so far, one of them, at least one of like the top three. It just snowed. It was ugly, gross. I was like, I have a snow day tomorrow. Holt was like, I actually have a snow day. Like, I'm not gonna go in. I'm like, this is amazing. We're gonna we planned out our
fight. Get like a snowman.
No, we're not going outside. Is what we're not doing. We were like, this is nice. Like, we never have a day, like an actual day, where we're not doing anything. So we're like, this is great. We're gonna make cinnamon rolls. We're gonna get up. We're gonna have coffee. Like, we're gonna sit on the couch, watch whatever we want. Like, just the most perfect chill day. Psych. We get brutally woken up at 7 a.m. to our smoke alarms and freak the F out, obviously. And very long story short, we had a small fire in our apartment. And we got up, didn't realize it was our unit either, because they've been doing a lot of stuff with our apartment and rewiring things. Like, our fire alarms go off a lot. So it's kind of one of those things at first. I was like,
is this real?
Yeah, like, what is this? Oh, it's the whole apartment, because it's always the whole apartment. No, we didn't realize until maybe 10 minutes in, it was just our unit. And we were like, oh shit, this is on us. So on hold with 911 for 10 minutes. Yeah. And then, of course, because we live in a large complex, they send 7 fire trucks. 7 fire trucks, like 50 firemen tracking in all the salt, all the snow, everything that's outside. It's freezing. We're outside. There's smoke in our apartment. We're like, what the heck is going on? This is weird. And of course, right when they get here, smoke alarms go off.
Yeah. Nothing happened. You're fine.
Yeah, everything's fine. And so they're just kind of showing up like, all right. Well, we're going to leave because you only need about 2 people here right now. Very long story short, our HVAC unit it's the like motherboard or whatever, the like circuit thing. It fried. So literally, smelled awful. Went through all the vents. Yeah, literally fried. But yeah, that was it. And all of a sudden they were like, follow up with your maintenance people, because they were like, there's nothing we can do. Like, there's no actually visible fire. We're like, great. And then all of a sudden it was 11 a.m. and we were like, cool. We've been woken up since 7 and we don't know what's going on. And now we're just like, okay, have a nice rest of your day while you have salt and snow everywhere in your apartment.
Right.
Bye. Oh. Also, our heat stopped working because our HVAC stopped working.
Yeah.
On the coldest day. So it was just like, that week was a week.
Yeah.
But everything's fine. Everything's good.
Right. We're so positive. We are so happy.
But
life is worth living.
It's funny to look at. Like, even the day of, we were laughing about it too, of like, you know what? it is what it is. Like, we were lucky that it wasn't worse and we're safe and everything's fine. But God, it is a funny thing to look at now. How we kind of like handled that whole thing because we were kind of panicking.
Right.
Once we realized it was us.
Right. You're like, oh, what do we grab?
We're like, do you want to call 911? How do I call 911? What do we do? It was weird. But again, one of those things where it's like fun new experience together.
Right.
How do we handle this situation?
Yeah. In a
we
panic
brought a
mode.
first that week. Yeah.
Oh
So
my gosh.
that's my funny story of the week.
Yeah. Well,
What's yours?
we had last week, there was like the big like windstorm that came through, knocked down a neighbor's tree into our yard over the fence. It's okay. Back neighbor.
fence?
Yeah. So luckily it didn't hit the house or anything like that.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, so we just had a giant tree in our backyard for a couple days with the fence just like, I'm like, please don't jump the fence. Which Leo did jump the fence again. The other fence though, so that's another ongoing thing.
All right.
So
Well, different fence.
trying to work through that with him as well. So that's been fun.
Yeah, fun.
Really fun
enjoyable
conversations around that. But yeah, so that happened. Got the tree figured out. The neighbor ended up like coming over with the chainsaw, took it down, all that because it was his tree, which I was very glad. I was like, thank you so much because this is literally your problem. No. And then yesterday we go downstairs and our basement is flooded with sewage water.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I know.
Oh.
So yeah.
Man.
Yeah, we got it figured out. Again, Zach and Angel moved, and our basement isn't finished for that very reason.
I was gonna say, nice.
I'm so glad, but we do have like all
You
of
have
our
stuff
gym
down there.
equipment,
Yeah.
like
Boxes,
storage.
and-
Yeah. There was, so yeah, we had to get, or Zach like was like walking through the sewage water, like getting everything up. We had to, and I'm saying we, but like I had a busy meeting day yesterday and I was like, do I need to cancel? Like what?
Right.
He's like, no, like it's fine. I'll just take the day. So yeah, he's like bringing up everything, has to disinfect it all. We were able to get like a plumber and everything out that day.
Yeah.
So everything's fine now, but it's just like, an entire
completely
day.
wrecked the day. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and then especially when it's the start of the week, it throws off the whole week.
Everything.
Yeah.
I know.
That's tough.
I know. So
Well, I'm
it's
glad
just like
everything's okay.
I know. I'm like things. It just like comes in threes.
Yep.
I'm like I'm gonna count like us being sick after being on vacation as one.
Yep.
And then the tree and then the sewage water.
So there you
So
go.
I'm hoping that we're gonna have a nice streak here.
Yeah.
Daylight savings has happened. It is
know, it's
sunshine until like
beautiful.
7:30.
I know.
So
Yeah, I know.
that
It
has
is
done
nice.
wonders for my mental health. I don't know
Yeah.
about you, but
It
just
has.
having sunshine.
Yeah. Last night we were making dinner and it was like 6:30, and I was like, "Is it like 4:00?" And I'm like,
know.
"Oh my God, it's almost 7.
I know.
This is awesome."
I know. I had a 5:30 Zoom and then I got off and I was like, wait, it's still daylight. Like I could take the dogs for
And
a
still
walk
have
or
my
something.
time.
Yes. It's just been nice. So that has been, I'm like, okay, all I needed was a little sunshine. I'm like, everything is fine. I just needed the sun.
Just needed some
But yeah,
sun,
I
didn't
definitely
know.
have felt like heightened, just with the state of the
Everything.
world as we know, which I feel like it's something that needs to be addressed. Like shit's going down. Like it's just bad. So I just feel overall, just like, I feel like just a nice weighted blanket of anxiety, just kind of holding me down.
constantly.
Or on your back. Oh, did you see Doechii release the full version of her song Anxiety?
No.
Please listen. Okay, I'll go listen. She like originally did it in like 2019 in her bedroom, and it's like a remake to Somebody That I Used to Know. You know, and that one. It's really good.
Okay, we'll have to go listen.
You'll like
I'll have
it. We'll listen to it
let you
after
know.
this.
Okay, deal.
Yeah.
Deal.
Yeah.
Well, to be fully honest, that's the capacity that we have today to give.
No. Like we
We're-
said, we're gearing up
Yeah.
for busy time of year.
Yes.
And we said this last time, but it's like it goes so quickly.
It does. Even just like Holt and I were sitting there like, okay, his sister moved. And so we were like, okay, when are we going to come visit? And we literally looked at the calendar and we were like, from now, which was a few weeks ago, until July, we have one weekend.
Oh,
And so I was like, wow, when you put it that way, that fucking sucks.
yeah, you're like, that is no free time.
That is tough, but it is like that's
you
when
have
you
other-
look at it and you're like it's not all filled with work and weddings.
Exactly.
It's filled with trips or travel or like fun stuff for
You're
us.
attending a wedding.
Yes. So like it is going to be a fun summer, spring. I think this build up is one that always makes me feel good, but makes me feel so anxious because I'm
So
like, oh,
anxious.
this is about to go by so fast, and it is about to be jam freaking packed.
Yeah.
Every day, every week.
Right. And that's what scares me. It's because I know myself. I know how I need like a full 24 hours, if not more, to just like not socialize and recharge.
Yes.
But when you don't have the time to take the time to recharge like that, that's when you're like, okay, here we go. We'll get through it. But I know.
Yep. We'll get through it. Like, I know it's ahead and I know how it's going to go. And like, I know it's going to be great, but I also know I'm going to be so exhausted mentally and physically, which is hard to like have that all in front of you. And it's
I know. And I remember like going into the quote unquote slow season. It's like, oh, I've got so many weekends just like, and now I'm like, I have 2 more weekends. And then it's just like pretty much nonstop from there.
Yep.
We got this.
We are excited. It's just
don't get me wrong. It's all exciting things, but it's just a lot.
It's still a lot of
when
overwhelm.
You're looking at it.
Yeah, it's a lot of overwhelm and it's a lot of buildup and it's like we always say on wedding days, like the anticipation is the worst part.
Yeah.
The actual wedding day itself is not. It's the anticipation, the buildup for it. And that's what like the buildup for the season is what's.
We're like, feeling it.
We're feeling it until we like see July or August and we're like, oh, that's my time I get to take a breath.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
That's then so far away.
Okay, here we go again. It's fall.
All right, again. We'll get there. We'll get there. But yeah, it'll be good. Just
we're telling ourselves
it'll be great. It's gonna be great.
I'm
fine. Everything's fine. But we do have some great guests lined up the next couple months.
We have our next couple months planned out. I'm pretty proud of us.
I am too. I'm excited too.
I know.
I think it's going to be really good.
I know.
I mean, I know it is going to be really good. We've already had some pretty great guests at this point, and I think it's just only going to get better.
But I love having just episodes, just the 2 of us.
Me too. I have a feeling a lot of these episodes in between are mainly just going to be us like catching up.
No, absolutely.
Because
we don't really do. Well, we do.
We do.
With the guest episodes too. But we just really like to talk to each other. We
just want to hang out and we want to keep everyone informed.
Right. What's going on in our lives.
Yeah. Why we're taking time.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. How we're doing.
Yep.
Hanging on by a thread. No, it's getting longer. The thread is getting longer.
The thread is getting longer.
It really is. Again.
And we aren't
sunshine.
People pleasing.
Yes.
Because we said, you know what? We make the rules.
Yeah.
Screw it.
Yeah, you
this
tell
is
yourself
be
that.
Best for us.
Yeah, you tell yourself that so you feel better about skipping these last 2 weeks.
Hey, this was a mutual decision. This was not my decision.
No, literally, it was pretty much on me.
It was a mutual decision.
Yeah,
they were mutual decisions.
You're right.
They were mutual.
Yeah. Chug that poppy. Sip that tea.
I will.
Oh, but yes, it was good to just get back at it with you. We haven't been on a mic in a minute.
I know. Putting the headphones on, I put them on backwards.
Yeah, my head hurts. My ears hurt. But it's okay. You okay?
I'm dying.
And on that note,
I guess that's a good way to say.
Gotta go. For now.
Oh my gosh.
But we will be back next week.
We'll. With
surprise.
Not just us.
Surprise. Not just one.
Not just one.
Maybe more.
Maybe 2.
Maybe 5.
Maybe 10.
Maybe 22.
Yeah, we have an exciting one next week, so you'll have to just tune in.
We hope everybody else is enjoying this sunshine. If you're here in Kansas City, at least. I don't know. If you're listening from outside
thank you.
Cool. If you are
nice.
From outside
tell us where.
Of the area, amazing. I'm so glad.
Awesome.
But we hope you all are doing well and staying positive.
Taking care of yourself.
Exactly.
And each other.
As positive as you can without being toxic about it. You know, there's a fine line. If you're not okay, you're not okay. And that's okay as well.
Yes, absolutely.
But love you.
Love you.
It was great catching up.
It was good catching up with
you.
you.
See you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.